Hello, everyone. Diana Rankin here with our precious little Piper sound asleep back there, and I don't want to disturb her. Anyway, she's doing fine. I'm doing fine. And we have the predictions from my spirit guide, Phillip, for um, for December. I feel kind of upbeat about them, but there are some things that may be a little rough to hear. But I think we'll be okay. I think we'll get through this. We'll also get a message from one of my books, which is the Master's Book of Answers by Phillip. And just go to any page. It's an oracle book, and I like to look at this when I'm writing in the morning when I'm journaling. I'll say, okay, Phillip, what's going on today? And I'll just open to any page, and there's my answer for the day. Hello, Juliet. She says, hello, all. I'm going to have to put my glasses on. I look at the bigger screen, which is over here. And if I'm looking here, I'm looking straight at myself. So I'd rather look over here. Juliet says, hello, all. Happy Friday and happy Thanksgiving to those of us in the U.S. All right. Yes. Well, Juliet, it's good to see you. Juliet and I go back a lot of years. And so we're not neighbors. We live about an hour apart, but we do get together sometimes. And that's nice, isn't it? Friends, I've learned over the years, one of my best friends is in California. Another is in New York. It's like I've learned over the years of my life that a true friendship, you can go years without talking, and then suddenly you talk and you're best friends, and no time has passed at all. So I hope you have friends like that. Okay, we're going to get here with the predictions for December. And I hope everything is working out electronically. I have had some issues this week. In fact, I'm just going to take a moment and catch my breath and breathe. I hope you do too, because I even had a couple of issues right before I came on here, and I'm going, ah! So here we go. Predictions for December. May the rumbles, many rumbles are taking place beneath the surface. Bubbles will be seen, but eruptions will come in the next. As many, well, I think many of us feel like this, especially in the U.S., but I think the world is also watching us so closely here in the U.S., our past election. And I think everybody's tired and we just need a break. And it's like, okay, we've got the holidays. Let's just go deal with the holidays and take a breath, and we'll deal with everything in January. And that's kind of what Phillip is saying here. But many rumbles are taking place beneath the surface. Bubbles will be seen, but eruptions will come in the next month. So I think January, we'll see some eruptions. As many know, Pluto has entered Aquarius. This is the beginning of radical transformations for individuals, countries, and the world. We say the beginning because this is a 20-year cycle. We are at the very beginning. And Phillip emphasizes that over and over, doesn't he? Being at the beginning means there will be hills to climb and mountains to scale. This 20-year transformation is one that will rid the world of dictators and those who impose their power on others, and give to the world leaders who bring about freedom for all with equality and kindness at the forefront. I'm going to reread that because I think that is of such great importance to our world. Being at the beginning means there will be hills to climb and mountains to scale. This 20-year transformation is one that will rid the world of dictators and those who impose their power on others, and give to the world leaders who bring about freedom for all with equality and kindness at the forefront. Yay. I want to also say I'm 79. I've told you that over and over. November 11th was my birthday and I turned 79. And I really feel that all of us are exactly where we're supposed to be. So whether we're young and at the beginning of this transformation, or we're my age and kind of helped in the shift, which did happen, I want to say back in 2012, the shift happened. But again, as Phillip reminds us of this shift, or this is where we're going to see the the putting into reality this shift that we've talked about, moving into love. And more people have come forth into this movement of love. But again, Phillip says, again, we stress we are only at the beginning of this cycle. There is rebellion against the change from powerful beings around the world. We know that. We know that. There are dictators in the world. But Phillip says that within the next 20 years, they'll be gone. We remind you the brightest mornings come after the darkest nights, or as you have often heard said, it's always darkest before the dawn. So what he's saying is this transformation isn't necessarily easy or immediate. And again, we are all here because we are here for this purpose of whatever age we are bringing forth this transformation. The eruptions that come this month will not be in the form of volcanoes. They will be in the form of storms, fires, and earthquakes. Those who are, this is really important what we're getting ready to say here. Those who are sensitive will feel the unsettling energy. It will be wise to spend time alone or with close loved ones. The world will feel hectic and harsh. To those who do not live in awareness, they will be angry and anger will find them. There will be moments of peace and moments that celebration feels real. There will be times when the world overwhelms the sensitive ones and celebrations feel phony. I want to stop for a minute because I want to give you, I don't want to forget where I am here, but I want to give you a way of dealing with that sensitivity. Years ago, when I went out to the, whenever I'd go to the grocery store, I lived in California at the time, and I'd go to the grocery store at midnight because I just could not handle being around that many people at the same time. And I worked for a small firm. I was a writer for a small firm. So I didn't have to deal with a lot of people. And I had my own little cubicle office type of area so I could shut myself off. It was difficult. I didn't understand why it was so hard for me to do that. Now, I will say I had a conversation the other day with a friend who grew up, and her childhood memory, the first one that comes to mind, is she remembers her mother and father and her sister, the four of them sitting down, and the mother would turn the food off. So it would just, dinner's cooking, and the parents would have a drink and they would talk to the children. How was your day? That's her memory. I said, my memory of my first memory that comes up in my childhood is sitting in my bed at my grandmother's house and reading books. Or reading a book one at a time. But I grew up being very independent. I grew up not with that close-knit immediate family. And as many of you know, my brother and I, the father wasn't part of the family after, I think I was around 2.5 or 3, and the father was no longer part of the family. So we grow up very differently, and we want to look at how that affects us in the world. And those of us with that deep sensitivity probably needed a lot of time alone as a child or with very safe people around you. So I never really learned to be in the world that easily. In fact, I go to a function or a party now and people say, "Are you okay? You're being so quiet." And they're used to seeing me stand in front of the group teaching or lecturing or speaking or whatever. And so used to me feeling that she must be an extrovert if she could stand in front of the group. But in the crowd, it's much more difficult for me. So I don't think I'm alone in that. I think that's true of many, many sensitive people. So what I learned to do, and this was one of my teachers, and I don't recall his name because it was a kind of a fleeting type of teaching. And it was a fellow I had a date with, and I mentioned it to him. And he said, well, why don't you protect yourself? And so I started thinking about how to protect myself when I go into a grocery store. And it's very simple. I can just imagine that divine, beautiful, perfect light of pure love coming down and forming a bubble around me. And as long as I do that, and as I've grown older, also, there's no problem being around people. So if you're sensitive and have difficulty being around people or going and shopping, just imagine that divine, beautiful bubble of pure love surrounding you. And the other thing you can do to help ground yourself is, like when you leave the workplace, for example, go out and stand on earth and just tap your feet or shake your hands and shake off any excess energy, because we don't want to carry other people's excess energy. And one of the things I've always taught when I teach the awakening workshop, Awakening to Your Deeper Intuition, is after I do a reading, I always release this energy back from whence it came. So we move into that deep psychic energy, but we can't live there. We need to move out of it. So just a couple of things that help me. So let's go on with what Phillip has to say. This month is a beginning of where many will have the knowing the shift has taken place. This month, I'm going to repeat it. This month is a beginning of where many will. This month is a beginning of where many will have the knowing the shift has taken place. I love that. It is a month where friendships may be strained. Those who are to leave your life will begin to do so. Old friends will return and new friends will be made. It is a month for quiet meditation and contemplation. It is also a month to arm yourself for the quiet revolution that will be here It is a month for quiet meditation and contemplation. It is also a month to arm yourself for the quiet revolution that will be less quiet as the new year progresses. When we say arm yourself, we do not mean with weapons that harm the body or the heart. We do mean to arm yourself with facts and resilience. Use this month for the introspection to know what you are capable of and what part you are to fulfill in the coming months. Everyone has a soul mission. Everyone has a role to play out. This is the month to learn the outline of your role. We say the outline. Details will be shown as needed. This is also a month of self-reflection for the purpose of healing. As you heal, you learn of your weaknesses. Once you learn of your weaknesses, you will then know of your strengths. You are only now learning how strong and how influential you are. A smile at a stranger can change the whole world. Smile. If you are hearing the sound of my voice, if you are watching this video, if you are here with us live, please know that you are going to be asked to be your best, and you will be able to rise to the best you are. Because this month you're going to learn that. And remember, a smile at a stranger can change the whole world. Smile. This isn't about needing to do great big works, although there are some of you listening who will. This is about smiling at a stranger will change the whole world. So smile. Let's get our message for the month, shall we? If you heard right, then that's a message you need to pay attention to. But if you heard left, that's the message, I think, for all of us. So the left is page 262. Is it that you are so busy becoming that you forget you already are? Is it that you are so busy becoming that you forget you already are? And then for page 263, again, right. If you heard right, This is a private message for you. Darkness is merely a lack of light. Darkness is merely a lack of light. And my friends, we are the light. We just have to shine a little bit brighter. We will know. You know, Americans tend to want to know the whole picture all at once. It doesn't work that way. We merely have an intuition to take a step, and we take a step, and then we're shown the next step. Look back through your life this month, and you will know what you are to do. I always say I jumped out of my mother's womb, pen in hand, ready to start writing. I am a writer, a poet at heart. That's my first love. I love sharing with words. I love speaking in front of groups. I love helping others. And look what I get to do. So if you heard right, darkness is merely a lack of light. If you heard left, this is the message for all of us for this month. Is it that you are so busy becoming that you forget you already are? You already are, my friends. We already are the light. Let's just shine it a little brighter. Okay. Juliet said, hello all, happy Friday and happy Thanksgiving to those of us in the U.S. And Teresa says it's somebody else just wrote it, shifted. Teresa said, happy Thanksgiving to you also, Juliet. Juliet says, well, that I think here she's referring to what we were saying. She says, well, that gives me some motivation to try to live until I'm 80. I'll be 80 next month or next year. This month, next year. That's a little scary. Constance Connie sends us a heart of love. Akila says, happy Thanksgiving, everyone. JJ Pepper says, the whole picture? No, if you're going to give predictions, at least give them correctly. Well, JJ, you know, we practice kindness on this, on all of my social media. We practice kindness. So, JJ, if you can't be kind, we're going to all send you some love right now because, my dear, you need it. It breaks my heart that people can be so mean. So, and honestly, JJ, if you don't like our predictions, say goodbye. Simple as that. Constance said, LOL, and Connie, big smile and lots of hearts. So, my friends, as Phillip tells us, we are the light. We just have to shine a little bit brighter this month, or go inward this month so we can shine brighter, because we are the healers of the world. So remember, a smile at a stranger can change the whole world. And JJ Pepper, whomever you are, we're smiling at you, and we're sending you love because we know you need it. So, my friends, thank you for the love you send to us. We appreciate it. From Piper and from me, thank you for the love you receive from us. We love you. Until next Friday, or if I have time, I'm going to do some moments of joy in between. So until next Friday, my friends, bye for now. And thank you, Constance, for the love and the heart. And JJ Pepper wrote a message and then she retracted it. So I think it was probably something we didn't need to hear. Stay in love, my friends, even when it gets tough. That doesn't mean we don't hold our boundaries. We absolutely do. And if somebody is saying something to you, thank you, JJ, for giving us the opportunity to show people how to show their boundaries, how to hold their boundaries. And one of the easiest ways, if you feel your heart is hurting, is simply put your hand up and tell the other person, stop it. No. I love you. I love you. And I will see all of you shortly, next Friday, if not before. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.